Hi, this is Mohit Tyagi. Today we will discuss about the blending and join. Right. So first we will talk about the blending. So I am taking one customer. This is the data source, right? And if we want to do the blending, so we need to have at least two data sources, right? So if you will see here, this is my first data source and this is my second data source. So in my first data source, I have only one table, which is customer. And in my secondary data source, I have one table, which is customer orders. So when you want to apply the blending between these two data sources, so by default, Tableau work on the left join. So left join means left join means if you are taking this data source as primary data source, so you will get all the records from this table and the common records which are present in the secondary table. So if you will see here a customer ID 1 to 5, and in this like customer ID which is same common column, and you will see 1 to 4. So that means customer 5 which are present in the primary table come here, and so now let's bring the other data source as well. So to get the other data source, so we need to come here, go to the data, add new data source, Excel, and I will add the customer order. This is my secondary data source. Right, come here into sheet 1. So you will see we have added two data source. So if you want to perform the blending, so you need to come to the data and edit blend relationship. So you will see primary data source is customer and secondary data source is the customer order. Right, so you can interchange, right, based on the requirement. You can make the customer order as primary and customer as secondary, right? So for now I'm using customer as the primary and customer order as the secondary. So Tableau takes customer ID as the common field which is present in both the data source. Okay, now if I will take customer ID, so we'll see 1 to 4 because this is the primary data source. You will see here we are taking this data source as primary. So I'm taking customer ID from the primary data source. So we are getting 1 to 5. Right. Now I'm taking name. So you are getting the name. Suppose you are taking product name, take it into the row. Right. So you will get asterisk, right? Asterisk and null. And suppose you are taking sales also. So you are getting the sales. So now we will discuss how we are getting this asterisk and null. So if you will come here, you will see, so blending work on the left join. So left join means all the data which are present in the primary data source and the common column and the common records which are present in the secondary data source. So because I'm taking customer ID and name from the primary data source, I'm taking it from here and let's copy it here, right? Now I'm taking product name from the secondary data source and the sales. So if you will see customer ID 1 is matching here customer ID 1, right? So against the customer ID 1, product name is the copies and the sales is 220. So I will copy this product name and sales, Control C. I will paste it here, right? Now come to the second customer ID, customer 2. So here customer 2, we have two records, right? Customer, and the product name is also same with respect to both, and the sales is this. So what it will do, it will aggregate the customer ID 2 because product name is same. So that's why I will take this Control C here, and we have two sales, so it will sum of the sales. So that will be 250. Now discuss about the customer 3. So you will see we have 3 records with respect to customer 3. So every records we have different product name, right? So that's why the Tableau is not able to decide which one product name actually it should take, right? So that's why it is not be able to do the aggregation based on the dimension. So that's why you are getting this, because dimension cannot be aggregated. If you will see the sales is got aggregated and it will give you 576, right? Same for customer 4. Customer 4, yeah. So you will see many product names. So that's why it is not able to aggregate the product name. It will give you asterisk. Same for the sales. Sales, you can sum up all the sales, because you can do the aggregation of major, right? Because you can do the aggregation for major. So this is 877, right? Customer 5 is not here, so that's why you will get it null here, right? And you will get sales blank, because customer 5 sales is not there, so you will get blank. So blank because when you will use the dimension, so you will get null if you are using as a major, so that's why you are getting blank. So that output we can see in the Tableau, right? So you can see the same output in the Tableau, right? So if you want to remove these, right, if you want to solve this issue, like how we can remove these asterisk and the null, so the best way, like, you can reshuffle the data source. Come to the sheet 2, come here, edit blend relationship. You can change the order, right? You can make it customer order as the primary and customer as the secondary. Okay. If you will take customer ID and you will take product name, suppose you want to take the name and you want to take the sales, so you can take like this, so you will not get this issue, right? So you will not get a strict issue, because if I will come here, now you are assuming this table as the primary and this table as the secondary. The primary data source, we have only customer ID 1 to 4, right? And with respect to that, we are getting product name, and with respect to customer ID, we are getting name, right? So same for the sales, you are getting this kind of output. So this is about the blending. So whenever you will go for the blending, you should make sure like the primary data source should have a more detailed data. Otherwise, you will get the asterisk. Now come to the joining. So suppose I want to perform join here. So join actually work with the physical layer. So by default, Tableau show us the data into the logical layer. So this is the logical layer. So if you want to perform join, so you need to double click here and you need to add one more table which is custom. Open. So you will see, and this is the customer order and the customer. If we want to perform join, so suppose I am using customer ID and I am using salary. So you will see customer ID, and with respect to that, salary is 50,000, 1 lakh, 150, 5 lakh. If I will show you the salary with respect to every customer ID, like salary with respect to every customer ID, which is 50,000. So that means we are not getting the right salary, right? So it is happening because we are using the inner join between customer orders and the customer ID 01 is coming one time, so you will get it 50,000. Customer ID is coming two times. Here you can see customer ID 2 is having the 50,000, but here customer ID 2 is coming two times. So that's why you are getting 50 plus 50. Same for the customer ID 3, which is coming 3 times. Here in the second table, we have customer ID 3, 50,000. You are having 50,000. So that's why you are getting 50 plus 50 plus 50, because we are doing the inner join. Suppose you want to do the inner join based on T1 and T2. So the output you will get it like this, 1, 1, right? So that's why you are getting sum of the salary 3 times with respect to 3, right? Same for the 2, you are getting ID, customer ID 2 is coming 2 times. Here you are having 1, so that's why you are getting this 1000. So same for the 4th, right? So it will sum up the 50,000, and you will not get it customer ID 5, because inner join actually takes the common record which are present in both the tables. So that's why you are not getting the customer 5. So we need to solve this issue. Like we need to get 50,000 with respect to every customer. So to solve this issue, we need to use the fixed LOD, fixed customer ID and minimum salary, right? Apply. Okay. If you will take this row, right, make it discrete, so you will see 50,000, which is the right one. So you can remove this, right? So now you will see this ABC is coming. So you can also remove this ABC by creating a calculated field. You can name it as salary. Apply. Okay. Take into the column, right? Take sum of calculation one into the text, and you can hide the field label. So you can see the customer ID and their salary. So this is how you can use the join. So this is about the joining. So we have discussed blending and join. Thank you for watching this video.